You're tuned to Arrow FM, your local community access radio station. The time now is 7 o'clock on a Friday night. Time for another Arrow Blues here on the Friday Night Blues Show. And tonight on the show, got a special guest in the studio. Welcome, John.
Oh, it's great to be here.
John, of course, is from Chester in the UK. Him and Raywin are out in New Zealand for a little bit of a holiday, and hopefully we'll catch you again next week as well.
Well, we fingers crossed. Yes, we hope so. Yeah,
fingers crossed, and as long as we don't get any weather events. So tonight on the show, I thought we'd just start off maybe with some rocking blues, and we're going to start off with an interesting track. I got this CD from Headley's Bookshop earlier in the week, and it's a CD was put out, a bit of a compilation CD, a part of a volume of 3 of them, by Roof Records in Germany, featuring Canned Heat, and I thought we'd play first up a live version of the Canned Heat's a big hit in the 1960s, the song called On the Road Again.
Well, I'm out on the road again. Ain't got no special friend. So tired trying, baby, back on the road again. Well, I'm so tired of crying, baby, I'm on the road again. Well, I'm so tired of crying, baby, on the road again. Well, I ain't got nobody that I call my special.
There we go. Canned Heat, recorded live, I think in Montreux in Switzerland in the 1970s. A different lineup to what the original lineup was in the 1960s, because two of the founder members had passed away in between. Right, we'll continue, I think, with the rocking sound, and we'll have a track from Johnny Winter, and this is a cover version of a song put out by the great J.B. Lenore, the song called Mojo Boogie.
Kept me down on Rampart Street. I seen everybody that I wanted to meet. She said, hey Johnny, stop and listen to me. They got something to knock you off of your feet. It's called a Mojo Boogie. It's called that Mojo Boogie. You know that Mojo Boogie begin to slide on down. She was teaching me a brand new way. I said, Gypsy, tell me what to say. They got the Louisiana boogie and the other kind of thing. They even got the thing they call the mojo hand. They got the mojo boogie. It's called that mojo boogie. You know that mojo boogie began to slide on down. a mojo man and show was crazy. The gypsy forgot to tell me just how to operate it. I went to a nightclub, I was squeezing it tight. I know that was the carnival and people starting to fight. It was the mojo boogie. Must have been that mojo boogie. It was the mojo boogie. I began to slide on down. Yeah, it was the mojo boogie. Must have been that mojo boogie. It was that mojo boogie. Got to be that mojo boogie. It was that mojo boogie. Began to slide on down.
Johnny Winter there and Mojo Boogie. While those songs were playing or chatting away to John, and he said that in Chester was it 4 record shops, vinyl shops?
Yeah. Pure vinyl.
Pure vinyl, yep. Yeah, and you were saying they're always busy as well.
Yeah, well, it probably like anywhere else in the world, our town centres are changing. A lot of people do stuff. We have Amazon back home, you know, and they don't come into Chester specifically for something. They'll get it posted. But equally, there's been an increase in coffee shops, which you'd understand.
Yeah.
And also the vinyl records said, you know, it's quite incredible, you know, because obviously there's a demand.
Yeah, and vinyl has become popular, there's no doubt about it. It's quite expensive as well. Not quite sure over in the UK, but certainly new stuff is a bit more expensive. And the used stuff, I know I did a lot of buying probably in the early 2000s or whatever it is, and you could probably get up a decent sort of LP second-hand for about $5 or whatever it is. Now they're sort of more maybe 15, 20 or even higher. So, but it's good that there is a vinyl revival going over in the UK.
Well, there is in Chester. I can't speak for anywhere else, but
Yeah.
Chester certainly
Yeah.
got a vinyl revival there, yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing, which just shows how keen he is as a listener, but not keen enough. John and Raywin listen to my show each week, but you were saying it's confined to the 60s show because the blues show's too early for you.
There's at the moment it's a 13-hour difference between the UK and here. So in the UK it is Friday morning. Now, if the blues show is on at 7 a.m. on a Friday morning, yeah, we can get up and listen to it, but it's a bit of an effort. Whereas the sounds of the 60s at 8 o'clock, it's fine, It's so we try and listen. Well, we do listen each week to the show, and it's great to hear your voice coming over the radio waves, and it's always good music. But even when we're away on holiday, I've not tried this in Europe yet, but it'll be the same. But if we're in the UK somewhere, we can get it loud and clear. Normally, if there's a slight problem with the internet, you'd have to listen to on the catch-up show. But normally, we listen to it live, and it's well worth listening to.
Yeah, and I know it's great knowing that you're listening to it, and who knows who else overseas may be listening to it, because that's one of the advantages we've got with the technology, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, something that came in my brain now that is quite amusing, really. Friday, some weeks ago, I went from Chester by train to Glasgow, which is 3 hours on the train. It's not a long journey, really. But I set off at 7 a.m. So I listened in on my mobile phone, plugged it in, and there's the show. And I'm thinking, yep, okay, this is just technology. That's the way it works.
It is, yeah.
Let's do it anywhere at any time.
Yeah. No, it is. It's quite amazing. Got to look in a different place to find the time. Now, it's 16 minutes after 7 o'clock. And next up, I think we'll continue with the rocking theme, and here's Stevie Ray Vaughan, and the house is a rockin'. It's actually not the track I want. It's another one, so we will just move it over to the track I want. It's a bit rough, John, isn't it? I'm supposed to be professional and everything's supposed to be all right.
I'm saying nothing. I had two cameras
Peering at you. Yeah, we got it. So Stevie Ray Vaughan, the house is a rockin'. Stevie Ray Vaughan there, finally, and the house is rocking. Right, next up, I've got a track from Charlie Musselwhite. Of course, Charlie Musselwhite's been around since Adam was a cowboy. I think he's started off in the 1960s when he moved up to Chicago and is still going. He released an album last year, and Charlie Musselwhite, one of the great harmonica players of all time. And here's a track that he put out in the 1990s. The song's called The Blues Overtook Me.
The blues overtook me when I was a little child. You know, the blues overtook me when I was a little child. You know, fast women and whiskey made this southern boy wild. When I was a kid, early on my own, I took the highway to be my home, and the blues overtook me when I was a little child. You know, fast women and whiskey made this lonesome boy wild. overtake you and pull you on through. Well, the blues overtook me when I was a little child. You know, fast women and whiskey made this lonesome boy wild. Southern boy wild.
Charlie Musselwhite, good old Charlie, and a rocking number. The album he produced and released last year was far more acoustic. Right, next we'll go back to 1977 when Muddy Waters put out an album, and the album's called Hard Again. A very critically favourably reviewed album. It was produced by Johnny Winter and contained probably a whole lot of cover versions of songs that he had already released. But one of the newer ones was a song called The Blues Had a Baby, and they called it a rock and roll. And how true is that?
Pregnant, and they named the baby rock and roll. Lemon Slim said it. You know the blues got soul. Pine Top said it. You know the blues got soul. Well, the blues done had a baby, and they named the baby rock and roll. soul. Jane Cotton said it. You know the blues got soul. Wait on the blues had a baby. Now the man, the baby rock and roll. Soul. Queen Victoria said it. You know the blues got soul. Wait on the blues had a baby, and they named him rock and roll.
Muddy Waters there, the Blues had a baby and they called it a rock and roll, and that baby had a sister and she was called Soul, and that's the rest of that saying. While that was on, I asked John to see if he can pick out a title of a song from this album, and he was quite amused with the titles, weren't you? The Rude.
Well, in a off sort of way, yeah, they are a bit over the top. Yeah,
yeah. I was saying back in the early days, back in the 30s, they had a number of blues, female blues singers, and they put out some songs that were pretty raunchy, to say the least. But anyway, he passed on that, so I have picked one. This is one of my favourites. It's Dana Gillespie, who is a British blues singer, and the song called The Big 10-Inch Record.
He's gotta be the strangest man. Now believe me, this cat's no sense. When I really get him going, he takes out his big 10-inch record of the band that plays the blues. Yes, the band that plays the blues. I just love his big 10-inch record of my favorite blues. Him, and I gave him a little pinch. He said, stop that jiving, I want to get out my big 10-inch record of the band that plays the blues. Yes, the band that plays the blues. I just love his big 10-inch record of my favorite blues. Covers me with kisses and wearing a lover's clinch, and then he gets all excited and he takes out his big 10-inch record of the band that plays the blues. Yes, the band that plays the blues. I just love his big 10-inch record of my favorite blues. plays the blues. It's the band that plays the blues. Well, I just love this big 10-inch record of my favorite blues.
Dana Gillespie there, and a song all about the big 10-inch record that a man had. Right, Eric Clapton is next. This is the album he put out last season of songs that were recorded live in the States back in the early 1990s when he was on a tour supporting his album that had just been released, the album called From the Cradle, and his version of Every Day I Have the Blues. Eric Clapton there, recorded live in the States, I think at the Fillmore, and every day I have the blues, and he brought the time to 22 minutes to 8 o'clock here on Arrow FM, and you're listening to the Friday Night Blues Show, and while that was on, John and I were talking about the different things around COVID, because that's one of the reasons why him and Raywin haven't been out for so long, and just the strange things. You were saying about you couldn't travel into Wales, is it?
The devolved governments in the UK, you've got a parliament in Cardiff for Wales, one in London for England, really, all the UK, Glasgow for Scotland, and Belfast there. They all had different rules, and they all applied different rules. So where we live in Chester, the Welsh border is approximately 1 mile from our house, and Wales decreed that no one should enter the country, period. Now, it's nonsense. There's a huge aircraft factory there that builds wings for the British Aerospace. People were actually commuting to go to work in Wales on a daily basis, but no, this was not allowed. So I was going out on my bicycle for a half an hour's exercise. We were allowed to leave the house for half an hour a day. And down this old railway line, that's a cycleway now, you come to a border sign that says, "Welcome to Wales." And you'd honestly thought that you'd find a soldier stood there of the Welsh regiment saying, "I'm sorry, mate, you can't come in." And there was no one. And it was a bizarre time for everyone. Here, the whole world, it was bizarre.
Yeah. So the sign was in Welsh or English?
No. There's a sign there, and it says, "Welcome to Wales," and the other side says "Welcome to England." It depends which way you're going.
Oh, right.
So
it's
not. I can't say no. It was in Welsh. I didn't understand what the sign said. No.
Yeah.
Because
a lot of the signs in Wales are in Welsh.
It is
English,
Welsh and English. Yeah. If you go to Scotland, some is in Gaelic and Scots and English as well. But yeah.
Ireland's the same.
Ireland's the same with Erse. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, a big debate over here whether we should have the Te Reo Maori sign as well as the English sign, because that's the second language. So, it's interesting. Right. So we had a similar situation, I think, in Auckland, when Auckland was under lockdown, but the rest of the country wasn't. Some guys who had farms in Auckland, and some farms, part of the farm in the rest of the country, had all sorts of trouble. They had to get a magic piece of paper and goodness knows what. Right, I'm just trying to remember what I've done next, or what I'm going to do next. Must be an age thing. And we played the Muddy Waters song, The Blues Had a Baby, and we called it rock and roll. So we can play rock and roll songs. And here's Johnny Winter and his version of the great Johnny Be Good.
Country boy named Johnny Be Good.
Next up, we've got a track from Rory Block from an album she put out, The Lady and Mr. Johnson, where she covers the songs of the great Robert Johnson. And I'm just trying to frantically work out what track I've got lined up. And I think we'll play it and then we'll know what I've got lined up. It's not that one. It's good Delta blues anyway.
I woke up this morning, feel around for my shoes. I got the old walking blues. Up this morning, feel around for my shoes. But you know about it, I got these old walking blues. Lord, I feel like blowing my fall on some home. Got up this morning now to find it was gone. Up this line, oh, fall on some home. Well, I got up this morning, all I had was gone. Well, leave this morning if I have to go ride the blind. I've been mistreated and I don't mind dying. Leaving this morning, I have to ride the blind. Babe, I've been mistreated and I don't mind dying. Well, some people tell me that the worry blues ain't bad. Worse off feeling I'm on seldom had. Some people tell me that those old worry blues ain't bad. It's a worse off feeling I most ever had. He got every movement from his head down to his toes, breaking on the dynamo, saying where he goes. Ooh, from his head down to his toes. Oh, honey, well, he's breaking on the dollar, most anywhere he goes.
Rory Block there, and I did figure out it was Walkin' Blues. 13 minutes to 8 o'clock, and next up we'll have a track from Watermelon Slim and the Workers. The song's called Wheelman.
When I was a youngster, I could press my weight. Didn't fear a man on the planet. No great metal suits threatening nuclear war, or monsters with the faces of granite. I spent years waiting for
Watermelon Slim and the Workers and Wheelman. And we got time for one more. And I think we'll go out to the end of the show with a track, a great track that was originally written and performed by Buster Brown. And the track is the old Fannie Mae. And this is from an album, the James Cotton Band, Live and on the Move. James Cotton and his band there with Fannie Mae, bringing to a close another edition of the Friday Night Blues Show, which was the first broadcast. Now it's stopped. First broadcast all over the wonderful Wairarapa on Arrow FM 92.7.